Boosie, your boy don't know how to fight. Neither do that T.I little yellow mother. The long hair.
I ain't really got no opinion on him, because, my opinion can send me to prison.
You slap Kanye West, that's where we was wrong at, homie.
Yeah.
Why slap him for what, nigga? When you had a 15-year-old.
It was just another night of online jabs, until the timeline snapped. Within minutes, feeds flooded with shaky screen recordings and breathless captions claiming
Watch explode.
Nobody talk to him. Why do Boosie get all the love? As if he the killer. And Boosie ain't no mother killer. You can slap Boosie and that bitch don't do nothing. You can slap Lil Boosie, that bitch don't do nothing. Lil Marlo was the killer. Lil Boosie ain't had a fight with nobody. That you punch him in the nose, that bleed to death because he a diabetic. You can't give him no black eye. He'll die.
Boosie had finally drawn a hard line with Charleston White. A line etched in one sentence. Keep my kids' names out your mouth. No press release, no polished statement, just raw, low-lit.
Boosie, your boy don't know how to fight. Neither do that T.I little yellow mother. The long hair freak. That little don't know how to fight either. Get them y'all.
Video fragments and rapid-fire voice notes spinning a storm. Did this really happen the way people are saying? That's where things get messy. What's clear is that emotions ran high. Fans were shocked, and the family was left divided.
Especially not his family.
The jail, it's gonna be for something. It's gonna be for something. I don't play no police game, man. Just know as you move around, man, life is real, bro. This shit ain't no motherfucking joke. This shit ain't no motherfucking game. Just don't play with me and don't play with mine.
As whispers turned into warnings, and warnings turned into a digital standoff. Unverified clips show a tense back-and-forth bubbling for days, then a sudden surge. A calm but razor.
Your son saw one dude said he said he's the one who got your son arrested. How do you feel about stuff like that?
Who got my son arrested?
Then he said Charleston White went on the record.
I don't know, man. I don't fuck with Charleston White. That nigga, they're Prussian. I ain't fucking with y'all. I'm keeping that nigga name out my mouth. That's a threat to my success.
Yeah.
Charleston White, he ain't hiding. Charleston White gonna get your ass locked up.
Yeah.
So, I've been ducking that smoke with Charleston.
That's the only smoke I ever heard Boosie say he ducking.
That's some smoke you don't want, man. Hey. I ain't trying to have them man calling no DAs on and all this on me. That's real shit.
Yeah.
It's real fake shit.
People got to realize, right, if you look at our community, I don't understand why people make threats.
Edged response attributed to Boosie, the kind that chills a room. At the same time, posts allegedly tied to Charleston's camp doubled down with jokes and jabs, turning every scroll into a new twist. Friends and collaborators chimed in, some urging
I ain't really got no opinion on him, because, my opinion can send me to prison. So I ain't really, I ain't really got no opinion. Don't you go to threaten people's kids, talking about you. I ain't the one gonna do all that. Certain people, you can't.
peace, others hinting that lines had been crossed long ago. Are we watching a simple dust-up, or the start of something heavier? That's the hook that has everyone glued to their screens. Because if the chatter is even half true, tonight's noise could become tomorrow's headline. The story really felt like any other in the unpredictable circus of hip-hop news. Social media was alive with small skirmishes, petty insults, and the usual mix of memes and commentary. But this time, the energy felt different.
He feels pretty good. He feels like the judge is... He don't feel good. You see how low his energy is. I mean, well, he says this judge seems pretty cool. Man, he just saying that to kiss ass because they watching. I used to say the same shit, and the judge kept revoking my bond. That nigga bit the pillar in an interview. And have you ever seen a gangster in an interview, nigga? That nigga under pressure and stress. Come on, my not playing. He facing 15. Homie, don't you know he got a turd in his ass? Because those 5 murders is part of relevant conduct that goes into the PSI. Even though he beat him, they still bring it up as an arrest. Boosie record don't put him on a cakewalk, y'all. He going where he got to really be.
Whispers started to float through comment sections and group chats, suggesting that Charleston White had taken things too far. He wasn't just mocking rappers anymore, he was dragging children into his war of words. And in a culture where family is sacred, that was a dangerous move. Fans who had followed Charleston's rise knew his play.
Just slap Kanye West, that's where he was wrong at, homie.
Yeah.
Why slap him for what, nigga? When you had a 15-year-old hitman, nigga, that murdered black people. The little kid got life without parole. Why would he slap Kanye West, a man with biracial white children, embracing the concept and the notion that black and white lives matter?
Others were worried Charleston was baiting Boosie into trouble, but no matter which side they were on, everybody agreed Charleston had crossed a dangerous line. The roots of this whole mess actually stretch back to Kanye West. Remember when Kanye came out rocking that White Lives Matter shirt? The culture erupted. Some folks defended him, others blasted him, but nobody stayed silent.
If your boy jump on me, y'all will bury that yellow motherfucker. I shoot him right in his goddamn throat. Look, I wish an 18, 19-year-old nigga would jump on me. Boy, I Trayvon Martin, that little motherfucker.
Playbook well. He thrived on stirring the pot, saying outrageous things, then laughing while everyone else scrambled to respond. He was loud, brash, and reckless, but always managed to stay just outside the reach of those he offended by reminding them that he'd call the cops if anyone touched him. To some, he was a truth-teller. To others, he was nothing more than a provocateur hiding behind the law.
So why you was a bitch, boy? Man, we was about to whoop your ass when you come back down here from telling.
But when he began taking shots at Boosie's son, the atmosphere changed instantly. People who had grown up respecting Boosie as not just an artist, but as a man from the trenches knew that family was one line you did not cross. Yet Charleston, never one to stop at the edge, seemed determined to
They're gonna be for something. It's gonna be for something. I don't play no
test that boundary. He cracked jokes about Tootie Raw, implying that he was nothing more than a spoiled kid pretending to be tough. He went further, allegedly bragging in a live stream that he was trying to get the boy locked up. It was the kind of talk that made viewers freeze mid-scroll, eyes widening, hands hesitating before they even hit the comment button. Soon after, Boosie's name began trending. Not for new music, not for a performance, but for the possibility of a clash that no one had seen coming. In the world of online spectacle, every rumor adds fuel. Fans began dissecting short clips and piecing together a timeline. One fan wrote, "You can say what you want about Boosie, but once you drag his kids, you better be ready for consequences." Another chimed in, "Charleston always talks crazy, but this feels different. This feels dangerous." Behind the noise of the internet, there was a real tension building. Boosie himself had stayed silent at first. He didn't jump onto live to scream or trade insults. And that silence carried weight. It was the kind of quiet that made people lean in closer. Because everyone knew that when a man like Boosie finally speaks, he doesn't waste words. The calm before his response was almost louder than Charleston's tone. Began spreading of Boosie's inner circle, urging him not to react publicly. Friends close to him allegedly advised that giving Charleston attention would only feed his fire. "Let him talk," one insider claimed a friend told him. "He thrives on reactions. Starve him, and he'll fade." But anyone who understood Boosie's world knew that starving the fire wasn't an option when family was being mocked, especially not his son. Charleston, sensing that Boosie wasn't taking the bait right away, doubled down. In one clip, he laughed and called rappers babies raising babies. He ridiculed King Harris, T.I.'s son, mocking his appearance, his upbringing, his hair, even suggesting the young man was destined for jail. He lumped the kids together, calling them soft and spoiled. It was an ugly tactic, meant to sting and meant to draw a response. That was the moment fans began tagging both Boosie and T.I relentlessly, flooding their comments with questions. "You gonna let him talk about your kids like that?" One user wrote. Another posted, "He crossed the line. We waiting on Boosie to respond." Pressure was building from every corner of the internet. It wasn't just about music anymore. It was about pride, reputation, and fatherhood. The silence cracked. Boosie appeared in a dimly lit clip, sitting back in a chair with a tone that was calm but heavy. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't spit insults. Instead, he spoke with the kind of controlled intensity that made every word land like a hammer. "I don't play no games about mine," he said. "You can talk about me all you want, call me whatever you feel like. But don't put my children in your mouth. Don't drag them into your mess." The internet erupted. Those words were replayed, remixed, and reposted across every platform within minutes. Fans praised him for keeping it real without giving in to the chaos. "That's a father talking," one comment read. "Boosie handled that like a man." Another wrote, "This ain't rap beef no more. This is personal." But if Boosie's response was meant to end things, it only seemed to make Charleston more determined. He fired back with more taunts, mocking Boosie for sounding serious and accusing him of being scared to face the truth. In one stream, he laughed and said, "Look at Boosie, pretending like he tough. Man, I can talk about whoever I want and he can't touch me. He's scared of the law. He's scared of losing his money. I win either way." Back and forth created a frenzy online. Fans began taking sides. Some saw Charleston as a reckless clown who was pushing his luck too far. Others believed Boosie was showing weakness by not going further in his response. And then there were those who feared the situation could spill out into the real world. "This feels like it's about to get real," a fan wrote on Twitter. "Once family is in it, it's not just words anymore." To make things even wilder, King Harris jumped into the storm. Already frustrated with Charleston's comments, he went live on Instagram, eyes blazing, voice steady but angry. "Man, stop speaking on me," King said. "Stop speaking on my pops. Stop speaking on my people. You think this is funny, but it ain't. You're not gonna play with my name." The clip went viral instantly, and with that, the narrative shifted again. This wasn't just a battle between Charleston and Boosie anymore. It had become a generational fight. Fathers and sons standing side by side against a man who thrived on disrespect. For fans watching, it was like seeing a drama unfold in real time, with every live stream and every post adding a new chapter to the saga. Throughout it all, the question lingered: how far could this go? Would it stay as words traded online, or would it bleed into real confrontations? Nobody knew for sure, but one thing was clear: the energy had shifted. Boosie's warning had set a boundary, and Charleston's refusal to respect it meant the story wasn't close to dying down. In fact, it was only gaining momentum. The culture had seen beefs before. Rap has always been full of rivalries, some playful, some deadly serious. But this one felt different. It wasn't about lyrics or charts or egos. It was about something deeper, something rawer. It was about fathers protecting their children. And once that kind of energy is in the air, the outcome is never predictable. Fans scrolled late into the night, watching every update, every screenshot, every grainy video. They couldn't shake the feeling that they were witnessing the start of something much bigger than internet trolling. The drama was no longer just entertaining. It was unsettling. Everyone knew Charleston White played a dangerous game. But this time, he had chosen the wrong opponents, and Boosie's calm warning echoed louder than any insult could. That was the moment the lines were drawn, and everyone was waiting to see who would cross them first. As the dust settled from Boosie's first warning, fans thought maybe the situation would calm down. After all, he hadn't screamed, he hadn't threatened violence. He had just laid down a boundary that any father could relate to. But if there's one thing people have learned about Charleston White, it's that he never knows when to stop. Instead of backing off, he saw Boosie's calmness as weakness, a crack in the armor he could exploit. And so the circus rolled on, louder and messier than ever. Late-night streams began popping up with Charleston running his mouth, replaying Boosie's clip and laughing at it. "Man, Boosie think he scares somebody with that soft talk?" he said with a grin that only seemed to fuel his viewers. He talking about don't mess with his kids. Man, them little kids is grown. They in the streets. If they old enough to act tough, they old enough for me to talk about. The chat flooded with laughing emojis, fire emojis, and shocked reactions. But beneath the surface, the energy was shifting. People weren't laughing as freely anymore. Some viewers typed warnings in the comments. "Yo, you pushing it, bro," one wrote. Another added, "This not gonna end the way you think." Meanwhile, Boosie's silence after that first message was speaking louder than words. Insiders claimed he was weighing his options, trying not to feed Charleston's appetite for attention, but also refusing to let the disrespect slide unchecked. One source close to him allegedly said, "He don't want to give that man free publicity, but he's not going to keep letting him play with his son's name either." The tension spilled offline when rumors began swirling of Boosie's camp quietly reaching out to warn Charleston to chill. Screenshots of alleged DMs floated around, though nobody could confirm if they were real. In one supposed message, someone from Boosie's circle told Charleston, "This ain't no joke. Stop before you cross a line you can't come back from." Whether true or not, the leaks only added more heat to the story. And then came the twist nobody saw coming. Charleston turned his attention not just to Tootie Raw, but to King Harris again, doubling down on the insults. He mocked King's appearance, his lifestyle, even calling him a rapper baby pretending to be tough. He laughed at T.I for trying to defend him, sneering that T.I was just another washed-up artist clinging to fame. Clips of Charleston's words spread like wildfire, and fans knew it was only a matter of time before T.I himself had something to say. The internet didn't have to wait long. T appeared in a video, his tone controlled but heavy, echoing the same fatherly energy as Boosie. "Listen," he said, staring directly into the camera. "Say what you want about me. I done heard it all before. But when you speak on my child, that's where you wrong. That's where we draw the line. You don't play with kids. You don't drag them into your games. That's not entertainment. That's disrespect." The clip hit harder than anyone expected. Fans shared it non-stop, praising T.I for standing tall as a father. "Real men protect their families," one fan wrote. "This is bigger than rap. This is fatherhood." Another added, "Charleston really poking lions and acting surprised when they roar." But instead of backing down, Charleston smirked and doubled down even harder. In a shocking moment during a live, he claimed, "Man, I wish one of them would try me. I wish Boosie's boy or T's boy would jump out at me. I'll handle them like I handle anybody else. They better stay in their lane." The chat exploded. Some laughed, others gasped, and plenty began warning him outright. "Bro, you tripping," one commenter typed. "You not safe talking like this." The whole situation began to spiral. Fans started posting old clips of Charleston mocking other rappers and activists, drawing connections and building timelines, painting him as a man who thrived off poking at the most sensitive subjects just to stay relevant. Memes spread, portraying him as the villain of the culture, while others ironically crowned him the truth teller, who dared to say what nobody else would. Either way, his name was everywhere. Behind the scenes, rumors suggested that Boosie was furious but calculating. Friends close to him whispered that he was determined not to let Charleston bait him into a legal trap. "Charleston wants someone to hit him," one insider said. "That's his game. He wants to sue, wants to press charges, wants to play victim. Boosie ain't falling for that, but he's not ignoring it either." And then the sun stepped back into the spotlight. King Harris, already known for his fiery personality, went live again. His voice was sharp, his expression serious. "Bro, you a grown man speaking on kids," he said. "You think this a game? Nah, we not playing with you. You gonna see me if we ever cross paths. I don't care about none of that internet talk." Fans flooded his comments, half cheering him on, half warning him to be careful. The back and forth became a generational showdown. On one side was Charleston, older, brash, and reckless, laughing at the new wave of rap kids. On the other side were sons defending their names, and fathers standing firmly behind them. It was no longer just a feud. It was a cultural collision. Fans couldn't look away. To make things even more intense, speculation spread that the situation was beginning to affect shows, bookings, and appearances. Some whispered that promoters were nervous about putting Boosie and Charleston in the same city. One rumor even claimed that security teams had been put on alert for potential clashes at upcoming events. Whether true or not, the story had reached a level where even the possibility of real-world consequences made people anxious. Still, Charleston continued to laugh, spinning every reaction as proof of his power. "Look how I got the whole culture talking about me," he bragged in one clip. "Boosie, T.I, their kids, the fans, everybody saying my name. I'm winning." Yet beneath that bravado, a sense of unease was creeping in. Even his supporters admitted he might have gone too far this time. The debate online was fierce. Some said Boosie and T.I should just ignore him completely, let him burn out on his own. Others argued that silence would be seen as weakness, that standing up for their kids was the only right move. The culture was split, the tension was growing, and the drama showed no signs of stopping. Boosie's quiet warning still echoed in the background, a reminder that beneath all the noise, real consequences could be waiting. And as Charleston's voice grew louder, so did the whispers asking the same question. How much further could this go before someone finally said enough is enough? The air was thick with anticipation after T.I.'s calm but firm warning. Fans knew Boosie had already spoken, and now Tip had added his voice. Two fathers, two heavyweights in the culture, both saying the same thing. Family is off limits. Normally, that would be enough to quiet down even the boldest troublemaker. But Charleston White wasn't wired like most people. Instead of retreating, he leaned into the chaos, pushing the boundaries even harder, almost daring someone to step out of line. In one late-night stream, Charleston leaned close to the camera, his eyes wide, his voice rising and falling like a man telling ghost stories. "They think they can scare me," he said. "Man, Boosie don't want no smoke. T.I don't want no smoke. Them little rapper kids ain't never seen no real trouble. They grew up in mansions, not in trenches." He laughed, his words dripping with mockery. "You can't scare a man who done lived through worse." The chat went wild. Half the viewers were entertained, spamming laughing emojis and egging him on, while the other half begged him to stop before he crossed a point of no return. One commenter wrote, "This ain't funny anymore. You talking about kids, man." Another typed, "Bro, they gon' find you. Stop before it's too late." But Charleston thrived on that tension. Every plea for him to stop was like gasoline on the fire. Meanwhile, the families at the center of this mess were feeling the ripple effects. Tootie Raw, Boosie's son, stayed quieter than King Harris, but insiders claimed he was angry. Whispers spread that he wanted to clap back publicly, that he felt his name was being dragged through the mud for laughs. Boosie, on the other hand, was reportedly doing everything he could to keep him from stepping into the circus. "He knows Charleston wants the kids to respond," an insider shared. "He's trying to shield him from that trap. Boosie don't want his boy feeding the fire." King Harris, though, wasn't holding back. His IG Lives became legendary, filled with the kind of raw emotion that comes from being young, proud, and unwilling to let anyone clown him without response. "Man, if I see you, it's up," King said in one fiery clip. "I don't care about the police. I don't care about the internet. You not gonna play with me." The internet exploded with reactions. Some applauded King for standing tall, while others worried he was walking straight into Charleston's game. T.I doubled down on his role as a father, stepping online once again to remind everyone that his main concern was protecting his son, not entertaining an online troll. "I'm not in this for clout," he said calmly. "I'm in this because I'm a father. And every father out there knows exactly what I'm talking about. Some things you don't tolerate. Kids is one of them." Those words hit like a thunderclap. Fans shared the clip across every platform, praising T.I for showing restraint while also making his point loud and clear. But the internet isn't built for calm resolutions. It's built for chaos. And the more serious Boosie and T.I got, the more Charleston clowned. In one outrageous moment, he mocked T.I.'s delivery, pretending to speak in his tone while waving his arms around dramatically. "I'm a father. I'm a protector," Charleston said in a mocking voice. "Man, shut up. Y'all rappers scared of me and my words." It was pure disrespect, and it spread like wildfire. The culture erupted in debates. Podcasts covered the feud. YouTube commentators broke down every clip, and fans in comment sections picked sides. Some saw Charleston as a genius manipulator who had the entire hip-hop world dancing to his tune. Others viewed him as reckless and suicidal, poking at men who weren't going to let disrespect slide forever. One podcast host summed it up bluntly: "It's only funny until somebody gets hurt, and this is getting dangerous." In the middle of all this, rumors started to swirl that promoters and event organizers were getting nervous. The idea of booking Boosie or T.I in cities where Charleston was known to pop up suddenly seemed risky. One promoter allegedly said, "We can't have all that energy in one place. If they cross paths, it won't be good for business." These whispers only added to the sense that the feud wasn't just an online show anymore. It was bleeding into real life. Fans began tracking locations, screenshotting flight paths, even speculating about where each man might show up next. Twitter threads popped up predicting inevitable run-ins. "Boosie and Charleston gon' see each other at some point," one viral tweet read. "When they do, it's not gonna be pretty." Yet through all of this, Boosie's tone remained steady. He didn't rant or rave. When he spoke, it was measured, heavy, and final. "Life is real, bro," he said in one of his only appearances. "This ain't no joke, this ain't no game. I don't play police games. Just know, I don't play about my kids." Those words hung in the air like a warning bell. No shouting, no threats, just a promise. The internet could feel the weight of it. Fans said they got chills listening. One comment read, "That's the scariest kind of response. He calm, but you can hear the storm underneath." Another added, "Charleston laughing now, but he don't realize the danger he's inviting." The generational clash continued to deepen. On one side, Charleston positioned himself as the lone wolf, the man who couldn't be touched. On the other, Boosie and T.I stood as fathers defending their sons, with King Harris fueling the fire by refusing to stay quiet. It was no longer just about disrespect. It was about legacy, family, and manhood. And fans couldn't stop watching. Every new live stream, every reposted clip, every heated comment added layers to the saga. It had all started with a shirt Kanye wore, spiraled into Boosie's criticism, and morphed into a feud pulling in two legendary families. Now it felt like the internet was holding its breath, waiting for the next move. Because at this point, everyone knew it couldn't just end with words. The tension was too thick, the disrespect too deep. The question wasn't if the feud would escalate, but how and when. By the time the feud reached its peak, the whole culture felt like it was walking on eggshells. What started as a loud internet spat had grown into something heavier, something that didn't feel like just entertainment anymore. Every new live stream, every casual insult, every clapback from the kids added fuel to a fire that was already out of control. The drama had stopped being just about Boosie or Charleston. It had become a question of pride, fatherhood, and how far a man will go when his family is dragged through the mud. Charleston wasn't backing down. If anything, he was more reckless than ever, bragging about how untouchable he was. In one stream, he leaned back with a smug grin and said, "Man, I got the police on speed dial. They can't touch me. Boosie can huff and puff. I can talk about being a father, but they ain't gonna do nothing. I win every time." The clip went viral immediately, sparking outrage. Fans filled comment sections with warnings. "You playing with fire," one wrote. Another added, "You keep testing real men, and one day that badge of safety won't protect you." On the other side, Boosie's energy remained steady but sharp. He didn't rant. He didn't give Charleston the theatrics he wanted. Instead, he delivered simple truths, the kind of lines that echoed louder than any insult. "Don't play with mine," he said in a clip that spread everywhere. "You talk about me, fine, but keep my kids' names out your mouth." Fans praised the response as one of the realest things they'd seen in years. "This is what a father looks like," someone wrote under the clip. "He's not chasing clout. He's setting boundaries." T.I echoed the same energy, standing firmly behind his son. "I'll never let nobody disrespect King," he told the camera. "I'll always stand on that." That simple statement carried weight. Fans reposted it endlessly. praising him for showing up as a father first and an entertainer second. The respect for T.I and Boosie surged in that moment as people realized the beef wasn't about rap or fame anymore. It was about fatherhood and legacy. King Harris, though, refused to stay quiet. His IG lives grew bolder, his words sharper. "You're not gonna keep speaking on me," he said one night, his tone filled with raw frustration. "You think this internet stuff is funny. You think you untouchable. But keep talking. Keep laughing. We gon' see." Fans were torn. Some admired his courage, saying he was proving he wasn't afraid of anyone. Others worried he was stepping into a trap that could only end badly. The cultural split became obvious. On one side were those who saw Charleston as a troll, a man addicted to chaos who had finally gone too far. On the other side were people defending him as someone exposing the soft spots of hip-hop royalty. But even among his supporters, unease was growing. Many admitted that dragging kids into his games was crossing a sacred line. As all of this unfolded, whispers started to spread about behind-the-scenes moves. Some claimed promoters were pulling back on Charleston appearances, fearing the energy he brought was too dangerous. Others said Boosie's camp was moving differently, keeping tighter circles, making sure no unnecessary slip-ups happened. Speculation ran wild, but no one could confirm what was fact and what was rumor. Still, the whispers alone made the internet lean closer, convinced that something was about to break. The real twist came when fans realized how far-reaching the fallout was. This wasn't just Boosie and T.I. The debate had turned into a larger conversation about respect, family, and how far trolling could go before it stopped being safe. Podcasts debated whether Charleston's style of provocation was sustainable or whether he was writing checks reality couldn't cash. YouTube channels broke down every clip like a courtroom case. Memes flew across timelines. But under the jokes, everyone felt the same thing. This was no longer just content. It was a powder keg. The final straw came in a quiet, controlled message from Boosie. Sitting calmly, voice steady, he said, "I'm not playing no police game. I'm not chasing no clout. I'm just telling you, stop talking about my kids. Life is real and I don't joke about my family." It wasn't loud. It wasn't flashy. But it was enough to shift the room. Fans replayed the clip endlessly, calling it the realest moment of the saga. "That's not rap beef," one user wrote. "That's a man protecting his blood." Charleston, of course, laughed it off. He smirked, cracked more jokes, and claimed victory again. But for the first time, the laughter sounded thinner. The more he insisted he was untouchable, the more people started to believe he was tempting fate. The saga left fans with more questions than answers. Would Boosie and Charleston ever cross paths in person? Would King Harris turn his words into action? Would T.I step even further into the fight? Nobody knew. What they did know was that the feud had already crossed a line that couldn't be erased. This wasn't about music anymore. It wasn't about fame. It wasn't even about Charleston's trolling playbook. It was about fathers protecting their children. And in the world Boosie and T.I come from, that's a line you don't play with. By the time the dust began to settle, the internet wasn't laughing as freely. The memes slowed, the jokes carried an edge, and the conversations took on a more serious tone. People realized this wasn't just a performance for clicks. It was a reminder of a code that has always existed, long before live streams and viral clips. Family comes first. Disrespecting a man's children is never entertainment. It's a risk. And Charleston White, for all his bravado, had lit a fuse that may never truly burn out. And so the story remained unfinished, hanging in the balance, a mix of pride, fatherhood, and the dangerous games of online drama. Fans watched, waited, and wondered. Had Charleston gone too far this time? Would Boosie's calm warning be the last word, or the start of something bigger waiting just around the corner? And that's where we leave it for now. Boosie's words still echo across the culture. T.I has made his position crystal clear, and Charleston White continues to laugh from behind his live streams, daring anybody to test him. The kids at the center of it, Tootie Raw and King Harris, are no longer just names in a story, but voices speaking up for themselves, standing under the weight of their fathers' legacies. It's the kind of drama that feels bigger than music, bigger than clout, because when it comes to family, lines get drawn and the stakes get real. But the question hanging in the air is simple. Where does this go from here? Does Charleston keep pushing until somebody finally snaps? Do Boosie and T.I find a way to shut this down quietly before it spills over? Or does the internet keep feeding the flames until the story becomes something nobody can control? Fans are split, emotions are high, and the debate isn't slowing down anytime soon. So now it's your turn. What do you think? Was Boosie right to send that warning? And did Charleston cross a line that no man should ever touch? Was King Harris smart to fire back? Or did he just hand Charleston more attention to play with? Drop your thoughts below, because this one has the whole culture talking. And we want to hear your take. If you made it this far, don't forget to hit that like button to show support. Subscribe so you never miss the next explosive update. And share this video with your friends so they can join the conversation. Trust me, this drama is far from over, and the next chapter might be closer than any of us think.